At least 9 people were killed and more than 1,000 injured Wednesday by a powerful earthquake in Taiwan that damaged dozens of buildings and prompted tsunami warnings as far as Japan and the Philippines before being lifted. Dozens of people were believed safe but unreachable in areas cut off by massive landslides triggered by the quake, many in tunnels that cut through the mountains that bisect the island from north to south. Officials said the quake was the strongest to shake the island in 25 years, while warning of more tremors in the days ahead. U.S. President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are scheduled to speak for the first time since last month amid growing frustration of Israel's handling of the Gaza war. AP correspondent Sagar Magani reports.
A U.S. official says the call will come Thursday after an Israeli airstrike that killed 7 aid workers.
He's outraged. He's heartbroken.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and National Security spokesman John Kirby say while Israel has the right to defend itself against Hamas,
as a modern military and a democracy, they have obligations to the innocent people of Gaza. And they have not always met those obligations.
The two leaders last spoke more than 2 weeks ago. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Israel on Wednesday said it regrets foreign aid workers were killed by an Israeli airstrike in Gaza, a government spokesperson said.
We are looking into everything possible to make sure that this won't happen again.
The strike late Monday hit a convoy of 3 vehicles and killed 7 staff of the aid group World Central Kitchen, including citizens of Australia, Britain, and Poland, a dual citizen of the United States and Canada, as well as a Palestinian colleague who was buried at his home. This is VOA News. The 12-year-old boy who shot and killed a fellow 6th grader and severely injured 2 others at a school in Finland has explained that he was a target of bullying, and this was the motive for his attack, police said on Wednesday. Reuters correspondent Sean Hogan has more.
The boy had transferred to Vietola School near Helsinki at the start of 2024 and on Tuesday brought a relative's revolver to school, shooting 3 and threatening several others. Police say it was not clear how the child obtained the weapon. Hundreds of candles had been lit and flowers laid on the ground outside the school grounds on Wednesday as people mourned. Flags were flown at half-mast on public buildings for a national day of mourning. The 2 other injured pupils remain in hospital. After deadly school shootings in 2007 and 2008, Finland tightened its gun laws, and there has been no immediate calls for the country to change further in response to the incident.
Reuters correspondent Sean Hogan. Uganda's Constitutional Court on Wednesday rejected a bid to scrap a controversial anti-gay law that is considered one of the toughest in the world. The legislation was adopted in May last year, triggering outrage among the LGBTQ community, rights campaigners, the United Nations, and Western powers. It imposes penalties of up to life in prison for consensual same-sex relations and contains provisions that make aggravated homosexuality an offense punishable by death. The decision was greeted with dismay by opponents of the law. Zimbabwe has appealed to the United Nations, aid agencies, and citizens for $2 billion to avert food insecurity caused by the current El Nino-induced drought. Columbus Mavhanga reports from Harare.
At the State House in Harare, President Emerson Mnangagwa told reporters Wednesday that Zimbabwe is expecting a harvest of 868,000 metric tons of grain this year, a number far short of expectations and about 680,000 tons less than the country needs. Mnangagwa attributed that to El Nino-induced drought, which made him declare a nationwide state of disaster in Zimbabwe. Columbus Mavhunga, VOA News, Harare.
Togo's government on Wednesday postponed legislative elections due to be held April 20th until an unspecified date, shortly after lawmakers approved highly contested constitutional reforms. The presidency said consultations were needed over the changes that triggered opposition claims. The reforms passed in March aimed to keep the president in power in the West African nation.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.